Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? This is Omar, and I am back with a new video. I felt like I haven't made dropped a YouTube exclusive video in a while, so I'm very glad that I'm able to get back into the swing of things when it comes to making these YouTube videos. For those who may not know, if you could recall, I would say about 2.5 years ago, I had relocated out to Southern California as a way to reinvent myself, to go back to school, to learn a new skill, learn a new trade, try to find a new career, and things like that. So unfortunately, things didn't go according to plan, as far as the things that I wanted to do or wanted to accomplish and get done in California. So about 5 6 weeks ago, I ended up relocating back out here to to Las Vegas, the North Las Vegas area. So what I want to do is I just want to give a recap of three takeaways from my time being out there in California. Okay, so I got three takeaways that I want to give you guys, that I want to leave you guys. Now, the first takeaway is that I can honestly say that being out there living in Southern California has made me more extroverted than I was previously. And the reason why I can say that is because I would say that it would start with my mindset. I knew that I needed to expand my social circle. I need to make new friends. I need to meet new acquaintances. By every means necessary, I need to expand my social circle. And so what ended up happening is that since I was used to the whole meetup, the meetup scene out here in Las Vegas, when I went out there, I had looked up on a meetup, see what meetup groups were in the area. I found a couple groups to hang out with, and in a span of maybe 3 or 4 months, now it almost felt like I was part of that group. And not only just meeting folks that lived out there in the Southern California and the Inland Empire area, but I was able to also find a new church home out there at the Lincoln Avenue Church of Christ out there in Riverside. So between meeting up, having a whole new church family, having a whole new social circle, as well as those acquaintances that I met while I was working the different jobs that I worked at out there, that has allowed me to become more extroverted. And just to go along with that, with Southern California being a new area, it was a lot of new things to explore, whether it be new places in the different cities, new landmarks as far as like the beaches, things like that. The meetup groups, it gave me a chance to be exposed to different experiences. One of them being that I learned to salsa dance. I never been salsa dancers before, so that was a new experience. I went to different places that I never met before. Those are different experiences. I went to a roller derby event. Never done that before, and there was a few other things that I did before that I have never done in life that I got a chance to do being part of those meetup groups. So I would say that that would be one thing, one takeaway that I could that I'll leave you guys, is that I became more extroverted when I went out there to California. Now, the second takeaway that I have is that I became more independent. And what I mean by this, because a lot of Southern California is an expensive place. So if you have friends or you have relatives that stay there, especially when you first get out there, it's in your best interest to find a roommate or stay with family until you're able to save enough money and get on your feet to be able to live out on your own. So I end up having to move in with my uncle, my aunt that stayed in the Paris, California area. Now, as far as being more independent, my immediate family is still in Vegas. You know, my mom, my dad, my sister, my niece is out here. I have some cousins that's out here. I have a great uncle that's out here. So my immediate family and some of my relatives on my mom's side all stay out here in Vegas. So with me being in California, I almost felt like I was detached from them from a certain point. And that just kind of gave me more of a push and more confidence to want to get out there and make it on my own. And in the back of my mind, Paris, California is only maybe about 3 hours, 45 minutes away from Vegas anyway. So it didn't feel like I was far away, but at the same time, I was far away, if that makes any sense. So that was another thing that came into my mind, was that being living out there in Southern California, being away from the parents, being away from my immediate family, gave me a sense of independence. You know, it made me want to, go into this new chapter of my life, make me that much more confident as far as getting the things that I want to get done. Okay, so the last thing, as far as one of the takeaways that I come across, would be the sting of the disappointment of things not working out. And what I mean by this, I moved out there August of 2021, right? I started going to school about a couple weeks later. So I was able to get my certification at Los Angeles Trade Tech College there in June. Okay, so the summer of 2022. So now my next step would be to get my CDL. I was going to trucking school throughout that whole summer to obtain my CDL. But unfortunately, I wasn't able to pass my driver's test in order to get the CDL. So that was my first failure while I was out there. Okay, I was disappointed. I was upset because my plan A completely went right out the window as far as obtaining a a groundman job for Southern California Edison. So that was the first disappointment. The next disappointment was that there was an investment opportunity that didn't go quite as planned. So that option to have some secondary income, passive income coming in, that didn't go to plan. That didn't go according to plan. Okay. So that's two failures. Now, I got my first full-time gig in March of 2023. So this is about a year and a half into me going out there, living out there in Southern California. I was able to kind of regroup. I ended up getting a first-time gig, a full-time gig there in March. In September of that same year, 6 months later, I ended up getting terminated from that job. So that's another failure that comes into play. So now, at this point, I got all kind of things that's running through my mind. What was I thinking? I should have headed back to Vegas after I wasn't able to get my CDL. What I'm going to do now? So I tried to stay in there. I tried to hang in there. I ended up getting another full-time gig, I want to say about 5 months later. I was hired on in October, but I ended up starting in the middle of January because it took a little longer for my background and stuff to come back the clear. I only worked that job 2 weeks before an incident happened, and I ended up getting terminated from that job. So what I learned as far as those two experiences is that sometimes that particular company may not be a good fit for you. It may not be a good fit for you skill set wise. It may not be a good fit for you personality wise. So you may find yourself in a situation that the reason why that job is not working out is not necessarily because you're too dumb, you're too stupid, you're incapable of doing a job. There's a lot of other factors that come into play. As far as, like I said, the environment, as far as it not being a good a good a good place, skill set wise, the environment, maybe there's issues going on with management, or you guys' core values don't line up. So once I was discharged, or I should say terminated from that position, now at this point I am completely done with California, and I wanted to hightail it up out of there and head back to Vegas. And just the sting and the anger from the disappointment there, it still sits with me to this day. So that's one of the things that I just wanted to kind of get across. When things don't work out the way you want them to, that disappointment, that anger that still burns inside you. So like I said, I end up moving back to North Las Vegas at the end of February of this year, 2024. And I just plan on just picking up from where I left off, man. It sucks when you got to start over. It's almost as if you got to start from ground zero. So my whole goal and objective is to get myself to the point where I'm able to be self-sufficient, and then I can just pick up from where I left off there. So those were 3 takeaways that I want to give you guys from my time living out there in Southern California for the past 2.5 years. Is that the experience made me more extroverted. I was able to expand, I would say triple my social circle there. The second thing would be is that it made me more independent as far as from like a mindset perspective. And the last thing would be the sting and disappointment of things not working out job wise. So that's my video. I hope y'all enjoy it, and I will talk to y'all soon. Peace.